Hello and welcome to Thursday Flash Club. I am Nina. This is Leah. This is Bill.
Hello.
And we have Jill here with us tonight. So this is being recorded. It will be put on the Practice of Writing YouTube channel and Substack.
And Spotify.
Oh, and Spotify, because we're a
We're a
podcast.
podcast now.
Love that.
Congrats, Bill. You're a podcaster.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to tell people I'm a podcaster now.
You should. A pastor and a podcaster. Let's see. So tonight we're reading Bar Succubus by Beth Anderson. And this first appeared in 2024 in Extrasensory Overload, an anthology of speculative excess. And it is used with permission here tonight. And you guys all have a copy of it, I hope. And let's see. How are we going to break this up? It's a little bit longer. It's a full 1,000 words. And let
I'm gonna put it in the chat if Jill happens to not have it. So there we go. There you go. Okay.
Okay. Leah, take page 2, Bill, take page 3, and I will do 1 and 4 because they're short.
Cool.
Where does page 3 begin?
I'll handle you gently.
I thought that was your pass. I thought that's what you were saying. Like, I'll pass it
I'll
off.
handle you gently, Bill. It is. I'll handle you gently.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll start there and finish it. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Bar Succubus by Beth Anderson. Those like you taste best. It's the hope, a bright, spangling note that jars my minor key. Are you a fine wine or a musical score? I shouldn't mix metaphors. You are a thing to savor either way. You approach my lair. Approach me, for we are the same. I am this bar hidden in plain sight. Well, plainish. There is no sign, there's no lure to draw you in, just a blue door under a metal stair behind a well-kept shopping center in the heart of a large city. You knock, the door opens. It's possible there might be some lure, that one you're with, the one who enticed you here, the masculine one, which doesn't mean man, you know. Masculine and feminine are such inelegant, incomplete concepts. He is the masculine one because he convinced you to give in to your longing. You are the feminine one because you let yourself be led. I am both, but call myself by the feminine name in your honor.
After all, you do taste so very, very good. I don't hide anything once you're inside. Everything is out in the open. Dark wood and patterned walls and a deep red swirling oil painting that stretches the length of the bar, with bodies contorting and pleasuring themselves like a happier Hieronymus Bosch. The alcohol for lowering your inhibitions is on display. Other substances available if you ask. Nothing is obscured except for where a coating of yellowy cigarette smoke from years past adds depth and shadow. But you want that, don't you? Some grime to leave behind when you exit so you can convince yourself you're clean. You love how I am both sophisticated and seedy, how I am refined and decadent and permissive. You love how my light glints off the wedding rings you and the one you're with both wear, the ones that don't match. And I love you, especially you, my feminine one. I love you best of all. You taste so sweet, with your hope and your hormones and your shiny, wide eyes. I love the way you confuse lust with something deeper. I love the way you think this place will be your answer. I love that you are so full of trust.
I'll handle you gently, keep you downstairs, make sure the spell you've conjured for yourself doesn't break until I have my fill of you. Upstairs is too crass, too blatant, my least favorite part of myself, even though the majority of my sustenance comes from the couples who indulge themselves there, out in the open where they make use of the couches arranged under the dim light and black painted walls. I am well nourished by the bodies, such a bounty of bodies, who visit this room, where in pairing up they provide me with pieces of their stolen carnal lives. Such a contrast to my past, when I could only enjoy one of you at a time, visiting you after dark in your dreams, never fully satisfied at sunup. Now I submerge myself nightly in oceans of lust. But you are special, and your faith might be shaken at the sight of those broken in brown sofas with their soft, stain-resistant coverings, the coverings that are, indeed, stained with beer and saliva and other fluids. You might get skittish, and I don't want you second-guessing yourself. So I tempt you and your partner towards the curtained-off nook under the stairs, the one just big enough for two people, the space where the heart of me exists, a shrine designed for desecration. You, directly under my eye, reclining onto the suede floor cushions, an unwitting supplicant who only sees a painting on the wall, a devil, you think, misled by its horns and your horniness and your inability to see what really is, even as you notice how the image shifts, how masculine and feminine blend and refract and merge in a way that is both alluring and disquieting. You refuse to believe what you see, that it's real, that it's me, my image, my appearance, before I became this bar. The one who painted me, was he artist or magician? Is there a difference? Through art, he sought to understand me and capture my essence in the hope he could reclaim himself. I let him try to bargain for his soul with an act of creation. I never thought he would succeed. Yet when he revealed the finished work to me, I saw myself, felt the power in his oil-painted brushstrokes, discovered he had given me the means to become more, to become this. I killed him anyway, of course, devoured him, took the painting and erected this bar, whose name I will not share, though the cheating spouse is what some people like to call it. I put the painting in a place of honor, under the stairs, behind a curtain, in dim, shadowy light, where you convince yourself this stolen moment means more than it does, that it is a promise of the future instead of a mirage that will shimmer out of existence the second you leave. There you are, with your hope and belief that something bright and fresh and pure will be born from your slick, wet penetration. But you are so wrong. I will take a sliver of you, your partner too. If you return, I will take more. If you don't, it doesn't matter, for there will be more to take your place, always more, so many more. As long as the lot of you exist, I will be here to receive you, to welcome you, suck you dry of the luscious, useless longing that leads you astray. You are so delicious, every last one of you, so plentiful. For the only ones who escape me are the ones who are satisfied with how things are. And who amongst you can say that?
Ooh, bravo.
Ooh, thank you, Beth.
All right. So that was Bar Succubus. All right, we've got some questions here, but I would love to start and just hear your initial reactions before we get in. Were you like, what were you thinking as you're reading it? You were like, what's happening? What was the experience? What was the experience like?
I wrote down a lot of things, but the main thing is that the voice in this is so fucking strong. And I think second person was like the absolute perfect point of view for this subject matter. And that the I was both a person, a thing, and a place, which is fantastic for Flash. I'm sorry, I'm just like spieling shit out, but I want to get it out.
And Gothic.
Yes, yes, so true. Wow, I did not think of that. That's sad.
What?
Woo. Anyway, I'm in Flash Zone, not in Gothic Flash Zone. But that's so cool that it's like a character setting and the conflict. And then also in that same vein, um, this is one of those like pieces that when I first read it, I'm like, I'm made to feel so uneasy that at first I'm like, ugh. But then the next day I like wake up and I'm like, what the fuck did I just read? Like that stuck with me. That's really cool. And then I read it again and I'm like, okay, it was just a feeling I had because it gave me that feeling. Like that's why it's such good writing, is because it gave me such a feeling of unease that it's like I question it at first. Anyway, that's what I have to say
That's how
amongst
it succeeds. I
yeah.
agree that feeling of unease, it,
Yeah.
it's how it succeeds. I thought it was interesting because I've not read a lot of monologues, and to me, I think it was kind of a second person monologue from a craft standpoint. It was like very interesting. How do you decide? I mean, it worked really well for this piece, and I'm just curious if her first draft was second person monologue or did it start in a different way? But it definitely the second person you write it really works for that predatory voice,
Mhm.
which I
Yeah.
really loved. And I mean, it starts out. Um, I mean, it doesn't start out so predatory. There's a shift partway through where, I mean, it starts out seductive almost.
Mhm.
And I was trying in my, of course, I'm like, it's a flash beach. Let's find the hinge. Where's the flash? And for me, I was like, for me, the hinge, and I don't know if I really identified the actual word or line, but wherever it shifts from being seductive to predatory, for me is the hinge.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
thought too.
and and just to like echo this whole idea of second person, for me, the flash involves widening that second person out at the end where suddenly it's not just you, it's all of human dissatisfied humanity that just can't ever get enough. And so for me, that was like the real reframing of the piece. And I've, like in the last like maybe 4 or 5 lines, I've marked a couple. I'm like, is this like exactly? It's subtle, that flash, but when it changes from like direct you to all of humanity, for me was like the moment of flash for this when it reframed.
Right. I think that was it. The flash for me is when we were all implicated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
I
I was
think
like, oh, okay. This was about somebody else, but now it's about all of us. Oh,
right.
I
Good
wrote the
job.
note down. I said we read a lot of pieces that the moral is ultimately people suck in general.
I did turn my mic on.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I jumped.
yay.
Oh, hooray.
Hello. I have a headset and I had to find my mic piece. So
Yeah.
I don't know the flow of like interjection here, so sorry if I totally interrupted, but
we love it.
I first thank you for welcoming me. I do not have a like I'm on desktop, so I don't have a laptop like camera, you know. So you won't be able to see my face. You can see my picture. Um, One thing that stood out to me immediately was the mention of two different artists, one unknown and Bosch, who's known for painting like nightmarish, like uneasy, you
Oh,
know, yeah, and like if that stuck out to me like immediately because I was like, okay, a Bosch painting, that's her kind of horrific. So then it kind of set the tone for me of like what where I am mentally, you know, like where like in that painting while I'm hearing this demonic-ish voice that maybe is in all inside of all of us or wants to get all of us. I just thought that was a very like special take to mention artistry in that, you know, like two different paintings, one unnamed and one that I want to know if actually that painting mentioned toward the end. I know it's kind of metaphorical or symbolic, but I want to know if that is an actual painting like called the like adulterer or something along those lines because it's mentioned there later. I don't know what your
oh,
takes
right.
are on
The
that.
cheating spouse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We should ask. I have some questions that we're writing down, so we'll ask Beth.
It's gonna ask.
Um,
Yeah. if you had
So
any
we can do,
insight
those
to
can be our interview questions. Is there an actual painting called The Cheating Spouse?
Yeah.
And what was the other question? Oh,
um
the second person monologue. That was yours, Bill.
Yeah, I want to know if it was
Was it
originally
ever written
second.
another?
Yeah, that's always this point of view.
Yeah.
also to speak on the painting part though, that was such a um unique and subtle way of like bringing in origin story in
Mhm.
such a compact space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Agreed, especially since I don't know what normally the like formula is for these. This is probably like 1,000 words, you said, like a
Mhm.
flash fiction that was written. I don't know if there was like a prompt for it or anything like that for Beth to write this, but it makes me wonder if she was near one of these paintings when she or saw it, and that's like kind of what inspired the whole thing, you know?
That would be really cool if this was a crastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mm. Is this ekphrastic? Okay.
Said it right, Nina. I'm so
I
proud.
did. It just came out. The more I think about that word, the harder it is for me to say it. Okay, so Bill, you brought up a couple things that I thought was important to the story because my first thought was like, okay, this is like an omniscient voice. And then I was like, no, it's like a predatory. That was the word that you had used, Bill. This is a predatory voice. Um, and then we have two characters that are, it was just interesting, like things that I noticed that I thought were really interesting is that we have two characters and they are not, they have a fair amount of description that we know about them. We know they're coming into a bar. We know they're wearing wedding rings. We know they're going into the closet under the stairs that has some, so we have we know what these characters are doing. Um, and I just thought it was so interesting that this voice is like this all-knowing, spying predator voice getting ready to consume with the idea of consumption. And I thought I was thinking, Leah, about your Gothic postings
Mhm.
and how the setting is often a character
Mhm.
in Gothic literature, and it's often part of, it's not always consumption based. I think there are several versions, but many of them, they are character and they come to life and they work to kind of strangle or um, confine the characters that are in the stories.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, this is some pretty interesting kind of Gothic living setting, a living setting. And I was thinking that might be where we would start with the prompt. But
Ooh.
before we move to the prompt, I just want to like just make some observations. So it's a monologue, it's a second person monologue. This voice is predatory and omniscient. That's like all powerful. That's like Thanos, right? That's like I
Hmm.
am in full control of what happens. It's like the spider, it's like they are in the spider's web, this couple. And I was thinking about that turn, like, so this is really about our understanding. So the succubus doesn't change from beginning to end,
True.
right? And the
It's just
characters, and what's interesting is like the characters don't really change. I mean, they go into the bar, they're committed to the action already. So there's no big change. So everything in this is about our understanding. So at first we're kind of understanding like, ooh, here is this being who's talking to us. And then it becomes and then it's more than just the bar. It becomes this big godlike entity, right? It's beyond bar and then it implicates us. And I just think that's so interesting, right? That we, the reader, are the change
yeah.
in the
five, 5 views. What is it? 5 views of TARDIS.
yes,
I mean, nothing changes in that story except the reader.
except the reader.
Yeah,
That's
and
hard to do,
it's magic. It's
Which
right?
is why
alchemy.
which
It's
is why that second person point of view is so useful to this piece because it's directly telling us your perspective is changing.
I think it's interesting too that it mentions masculinity and femininity
Mm.
several times, and it even kind of declares itself to the feminine voice. Like it even says in your honor, like I'm calling myself by feminine and your or by the feminine name in your honor. So it's almost like directed toward one of the two. And that I don't know if that was intentional in the piece, but it seems
Well,
to
sure,
be,
no, that
yeah.
that makes sense because she says, I'm sorry, the narrator says, that masculine and feminine are not just man and woman, but rather feminine is the one who lets themselves be led. So in your
Yeah.
honor, meaning that you are the feminine and you are taking my lead.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Which
and we
is
just
even more
walked right
horrific.
into the trap,
Yeah.
right? We're like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
It was me. Consume
Yeah.
me. Um, okay, so this was all right. Let me go find my notes. Do we want to talk about, I mean, we haven't even talked about it being a succubus,
I don't,
right? Like
yeah.
what's a succubus? Like a woman who consumes a man. Is that
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's just fun. Bar succubus. And this is from it's an inanimate object. It's a bar.
It's a
Right.
take on succubus because it's an object, because it's a setting.
Right. Um, so I think that part is just so fun. Okay. I
Well, a
always
bar can be a succubus for a lot of people anyway,
True.
regardless of,
Good
yeah,
point.
it's a
Good
vice
point.
place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the hinge moment, Jill, we like to kind of identify the parts. Um, and I was thinking that there is this moment when he says or she says, the one who painted me, was he artist or magician? Is there a difference? Um, so up until that point, the voice is kind of like that seductive voice. And then this is where that I think that voice crosses the border into like the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it's like, I killed him anyway, of course.
That's the line that I felt like was the hinge, was I killed him anyways, because then that's when it turns from, like Bill was saying, from seductive to predatory.
Right, exactly. Um,
And
okay.
it says a lot about the artist in that sense as well too. Like to create that, it's like he let in the darkness as well to paint it, like let in the succubus as well, and then it devoured him,
Mm-hmm.
or she, I suppose.
Right. Okay. So we have a space that knows things. And so what I'm thinking, if we want to just take a few minutes, let's take 3 minutes and make a list of places that people willingly enter. So let's take 3 minutes. And so Jill, we're just going to brainstorm and
Okay.
write down as many places that you can think of that people might enter a greenhouse, a cabin on a boat, whatever. It's all you. 3 minutes. Okay. Have you got 10 or more? You got some to choose from? Okay, great. Um, did anybody get kind of more and more specific as you went? Like, you know, a teenager's bedroom in an old house, or a used tent.
No, but I started to think about
No.
that toward the end. I just didn't write it down.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. So maybe take a minute. This will be a two-parter. Take a minute and see if you can add some specificity. And the idea is that um, this space is going to notice something that a human wouldn't necessarily. It's going to be kind of all-knowing, meaning it's seen people come through. It knows, it knows, and it knows something specific. Does it pay any attention to things that might feel a little bit wrong? Or does it notice any vulnerabilities in a person who might come in there? So if you want, you can keep the tone as you're thinking about this, seductive, tender, observational, inviting, as you're thinking about this in the beginning. And then we might switch that up. Jill, just so you know, I make suggestions. You don't have to follow any of them.
Okay.
Okay. They're just kind of ideas to help you generate content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay, so we'll do 4 minutes, just kind of picking maybe one of these spaces or filling them out, which find out which one's most interesting to you, and then go a little deeper, figuring out what that space might know. All right, did you get a little momentum? Filling in some details? Okay. Now this is when we can copy Beth straight up. We can go monologue. Think it's okay. She's a big fan of stealing from other artists, so she did a whole presentation on it. Take the trope. Um, so we can go second person, we can go monologue, consider becoming allow the setting to become the body, to become the all-knowing. Or you can consider, does this space have mouth, lungs, a stomach? What does it do? How does it interact with a character that might be coming into this space? So think about a character that might be coming into this space and what it might want from them, what it might give them, what it might take from them, um, what it might notice. It might help and then lure them in. Not sure. So, um, does that give you any ideas? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I would just say consider letting the language blur a little bit, like Beth does at the beginning. Like we're not exactly sure what this means, and then move towards kind of concretizing it. At some point, this setting kind of has to act. It's no longer passive, right? So in the moment, like we found out that he killed, the succubus killed the magician slash artist, right? That was the moment that it became like an active, there was agency in that story. It wasn't just, we're watching, right? So it was kind of the conduit by which this carnal activity took place. Um, so the spaces needs to kind of take something or give something if it's a hopeful story.
We don't write those.
We rarely write those, Jill. Pretty
All
dark and
people
twisted.
suck.
Yeah, pretty dark
I
and
have a
twisted in
dark
our head.
soul too, so it's fine.
Oh, well, welcome. That's great. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna write something about that happens in a hospital room? That's all I kept thinking. I was like, oh, it's gonna be such good material. Okay, so this is when we're going to do kind of a deep dive, Jill. So hopefully we've given you enough material to kind of get the energy moving and just right.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll come back in about 18 minutes at 8:55. Okay, gang. Welcome back. It's 8:55. I I put a couple things in the chat for us. Just an outlet. The Dark Magazine has like a 48-hour turnaround, which makes me
Ooh.
love them. And they pay. So if
Damn.
you, I don't know. So if you have so mine ended up being kind of like a Bildungsroman, like coming of age. It's a camp cabin that's like really facilitating a lot of growing up. Um, and I was like, this is so creepy. Like, I don't even know if I want to keep writing this. I was like, this is just like, yeah. Um, anyway, it was kind of interesting. And then Jill, there is a hermit crab essay, a hermit crab. Oh, we
No.
lost Jill. Ah,
Just the
well,
perfect
anyway,
time. You scared her away.
I scared her away. Have you guys read this hermit crab essay?
Mm-mm.
Um, it's worth it. Um, it's Dr. Jill Talbot, Professor of Longing. It's our syllabus for the year or for the semester. Anyway, how did it go for you all?
I started something about a fitting room with lots of mirrors, and I enjoy it. Yeah.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, I did. I am enjoying it.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But yeah,
what does the fitting room know?
everything, because it can see everything, because there's so many mirrors. Um, but then there was like a transfer of spirit of some sort, I think, and it got really creepy and predatory, and there was some undressing that occurred, and I have high hopes for this piece.
Oh, does it want to see people like at their bare selves?
It like started to go that direction and then I veered away. Um, but I'm thinking that's more where the heart of it lies. Yeah.
Okay.
I started to write that part and then I was like, oh, this is kind of but I need to get over that.
Oh, brother. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that setting's brilliant though. Dressing room with a bunch of mirrors. I mean, like
I got really excited about it when I wrote it down. And then
that's
when Nina was
really
like,
good.
think about it more, I was like, oh, well, this dressing room has way more mirrors than it should, but like they all have way more than they should. So it's not really that noticeable
Until it's noticeable.
yeah, until it's inside your head,
That's
and telling you
that's
to do
great.
things. Yeah,
That's
I'm
fun.
excited.
That's a great idea.
All right, Bill, what was your experience? Got anything you want to share?
I mean, I started off with a used float tank from the clinical psych department at UMO that, that wants to turn you into soup. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
exactly why I have a complete claustrophobia in those float tanks.
Yeah.
I hate those things.
I don't think anything's unlike yours, Lee. I think you definitely need to do something with that. I don't think anything's going to come with this.
Hmm.
Well, tanks
Yeah.
are
And
worth.
I spent a little bit of time on this piece I'm working on all week. It's keeps calling, it's stuck in my craw.
Okay.
I will say also that I realized as I was writing this and while we were talking that that hotel room piece that I wrote toward the beginning of my 100 Doors story, where he like
Mhm.
keeps going back to the front desk because his
Oh,
keys
with the
are working.
keys, yes,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
there's a succubus in there. Like I feel like at
yeah,
the end that's what's happening, and I didn't even it didn't clock until
yeah.
just now. So
Tell Joe what you're doing.
Yeah,
me?
Jill, are you
Oh,
there?
Yeah, sorry about the disconnection. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened there, but okay. Glad I was able to get back in.
do you want me to tell her what I'm doing?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
But
Tell her
okay.
about your project.
I am in the middle of a fragmented 100 days of writing. I have three lists of 100 things, 100 styles, and 100 rules. And I
Wow.
roll three dice and I decide each day what I have to write.
Wow.
And then she posts them.
And I
How
post them.
many, like, how
I,
long do you spend each day doing that? Do you have like a regimented time that you do it or?
no, when I started, it was like every morning I would roll the dice and then I would have the day to mull it over and write here and there. And then by the end of the day, I would have to post it. And then recently I had some lapse in posting and I got
Mhm.
sick. And then yesterday I was like, I can't submit any of these to anywhere because they're all published on my own publication. So um there's some hiccups, but I mean by the end of the day, each day is the goal. And it's helped me a lot just in terms of momentum and getting stuff on the paper.
What day are you at now?
I'm on 29, though I should probably be on like 35 realistically. But I have 29 stories, so I need to stop beating
It's
myself up.
incredible.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Great. So Jill, what was that experience like for you? Did you come up with anything interesting?
I wouldn't, uh, interesting. That's debatable, but did I come up with something? Yes. For some reason, my brain went to a grocery store because I thought there are so many facets of every indulgence you can have, and also, the workers there, the people coming in and out, the regulars. So my mind kind of went there of the grocery store being like this eye in the sky of all these stories of these people that come in and out. And so I just kind of found myself writing about each one of those people that the grocery store sees. And my intention was to maybe because usually, I like I said, I do have that dark soul, so it's like everybody there's a sinkhole and everybody dies. No, but eventually my plan when I started writing this was to maybe the uh entity of in the store could help someone. That was kind of my, but I didn't get there yet in that small window of time. But I wrote it with the intention of maybe it not turning so dark, but seeing the darkness in
Mhm.
all of the people coming in and out. So,
Using light. I guess we always have that choice, right?
That is
hmm
what probably my next piece on Gothic is going to be about is the light in Gothic writing because it's just as important as the dark.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, because
there.
it illuminates it. Um, you also can learn a lot about a person based on what's in their shopping cart at a grocery store.
I absolutely agree with that. That's kind of where my brain went is I was thinking of all of these situations that like,
Yeah.
the guy buying Kamchatka on the bottom shelf that comes in every Tuesday, the woman that can't buy formula, the old man that's been working there for 20 years, stacking bread, and somebody puts a roast in the non-perishable area. Or, like, yeah.
People who steal stuff, all the
Yeah,
rumors,
the people that steal.
Mhm.
the rumors, the little fender benders out in the parking lot.
Yeah, the music that plays,
Ah,
some people notice it and some don't. That's just kind of where I went. Like, I don't know.
that is right.
Strange. Strange
Yeah.
to go to a grocery store, but hey.
Oh, yeah, I think that's you. Yeah, I think you've got good material there.
Mhm.
Um, so Jill, I put a short story in the chat for you. I'm not sure if you saw that, if we lost you at that moment.
As soon as I went to click it is when I DC'd. So I do not see it in the chat anymore. If you could post it again, that would be amazing.
Okay. I was like, "Ooh, did I make that happen?"
I have no clue. I don't know.
See, if you disappear again, it'll be this link, but it's so good you have to read it. But anyway, so it's 9:05. We're a little late, but Jill, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Bill,
thank
Lee,
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you're welcome anytime. We're always here.
Yeah, please
every
come back.
Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Friends,
Thanks,
Thank you
Nina. Thanks for putting it
guys.
together.
Michi.
Bye. See ya.
Bye. Thank you.
Ah.
Those friends.